Welcome to The Explainer. We're here to break down the biggest stories, and we're going to do it with some simple, clear slides.
Okay, let's dive right in. We are talking about the Premier League's absolutely wild 2025 summer transfer window. This wasn't just about a few signings. This was a period of spending and strategy that has completely shaken up the entire league. All right, first up, the window opens. Let's set the stage.
So, what exactly is the summer transfer window? Well, think of it like this. For a frantic 11 weeks, it's basically a free-for-all. Every single club is in this high-stakes battle to buy, sell, and loan players, trying to build the strongest team they possibly can. It's a flat-out race against the clock, and against each other.
And listen, there was no easing into it this year. No way. From the second the window opened, the top clubs came out swinging. They were making major moves right away, setting this incredibly frantic pace for the whole summer. So let's get to the fun part, the biggest Premier League arrivals. Who are these new superstars landing in England? You know, the guys who are supposed to come in, score the goals, and maybe, just maybe, win the whole thing?
Okay, take a look at this list. What's really fascinating here isn't just the names, it's the strategy. I mean, look at Arsenal. They finally went out and got that clinical, physical striker they've been crying out for in Victor Gyökeres. Then you've got Liverpool, always looking to the future, bringing in Florian Wirtz, one of the most creative young players in all of Europe. And wow, Tottenham, they made a huge statement adding both Xavi Simons and Mohamed Kudus. That's a scary attack. This is all about clubs making very specific, targeted moves to either win the title or smash their way into that top four.
But you know how it is. For every exciting hello, there's a shocking goodbye. And this summer, some of the absolute biggest names, true icons of the modern Premier League, have packed their bags and moved on.
And this is the other side of the coin. It's kind of hard to believe, honestly. Seeing a legend like Kevin De Bruyne leave Man City for Napoli, that's not just a transfer, that's the end of an era. Same goes for Son Heung-min heading to LAFC. But look, it wasn't just about veterans. Liverpool losing Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid, that's a huge blow, not just for them, but for the entire league. And then you see a rising star like Joby Bellingham following in his brother's footsteps to Dortmund. It just shows you that top-tier young talent is being lured away too.
You know, this massive transformation wasn't just happening with the big-name clubs. If you really want to see how deeply a squad can be overhauled, you have to look at Nottingham Forest. This wasn't just tinkering, this was a complete ground-up rebuild, a revolving door of players. They brought in proven Premier League talent like James McAtee, made some really smart loans for guys like Douglas Luiz and Zinchenko, and at the same time, a whole bunch of familiar faces were heading out the door. It's a classic high-risk, high-reward strategy, and it totally changes the identity of that team.
And of course, all of this, all the planning, all the big money moves, it all builds to one chaotic climax, the deadline day frenzy. You know what I'm talking about. Pure, uncut drama.
The final day, it's a story all on its own, isn't it? It always starts with these little whispers and rumors, and then it just builds and builds into this absolutely frantic conclusion where every club is scrambling to fill that one last gap in their squad before the clock hits zero.
Because as that clock ticks down, the real drama begins. This is that moment where months of careful planning can just go right out the window. It gets replaced by pure, last-minute panic, but also, for some, incredible opportunity. And man, some of these deals went right down to the absolute wire. I mean, Jadon Sancho getting a lifeline with a loan to Aston Villa? Huge. And how about Liverpool swooping in for Newcastle's star striker Alexander Isak at the last minute? Nobody saw that coming. Then you have Spurs adding even more firepower with Kolo Muani on loan. That's a massive coup. And Sunderland landing a player like Brian Broby from Ajax, that is a huge statement of intent. All of this happened in those final frantic hours.
Okay, so after all that madness, what does it all mean? Let's take a step back and look at the big picture. How about this for a number? Over 400. That's right. Across the league, there were well over 400 significant player movements. We're talking transfers, loans, releases, the whole shebang. All in just one summer. The scale of this change is it's enormous.
So, the big takeaway is pretty simple. The entire Premier League landscape has been completely reshaped. Title contenders have reloaded, mid-table teams have been overhauled. Seriously, every single squad looks different. And what that means for us is that the season ahead is just full of brand new questions. Old rivalries now have new faces. We're going to see totally fresh tactical battles. No team is the same as it was just a few months ago.
The new squads are set. The battle lines are drawn. So who made the move that will actually define the season? Well, that's the big question, isn't it? And the only place we'll find the answer is on the pitch. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.